Greetings, this is Tanaka Rodney Chindomu and I am representing Golden Cloud Network. And we're back today with our monologues. And today's topic is going to be an interesting one. Today we're going to be discussing how Zimbabwe can become the next Dubai. Why are we choosing this topic? Because Dubai is a country that rose from the ashes. It was once a small country, it was unknown, it was unpopular, and its economy was really shrunk. But with the right steps, Dubai managed to transform itself into a big brand name and a big powerhouse in terms of the economy and in terms of attracting investors and tourists. So this is the path that Zimbabwe is on right now. So we just want to do a case study on Dubai and try to study and analyze how Dubai did it. And if we do this, we'll have a more clear path on how Zimbabwe can do it. Zimbabwe currently is ranked as a third world country, and it is trying to level up. So this is why we chose a country that is ranked higher than Zimbabwe to try and see how they have done it, so that we can have a clear picture of how we can go towards our national goals. And just as a disclaimer, Golden Cloud Network is an independent channel. We are not supported by any local or foreign organizations whatsoever. This video is solely based off our patriotic hearts and our desire for Zimbabwe to become better, our home country, our home. So this is a timeline of Dubai's rise. So it all started in 1833. And the first step was national food security, right? There's some tribe in Dubai called the Al Maktoum tribe, which is the tribe that is responsible for establishing a fishing settlement, right? So Dubai started with food security. Dubai is close to a large water bodies, so that means that it is close to an abundant source of fish, and fish is a good source of protein. And if people have something to eat, they have food security. So Dubai capitalized its access to this resource that is needed to sustain human life, right? So before a country or a community or a family even can do anything productive, they have to make sure that they have food. They have to make sure that they have food security, right? So as Zimbabwe, we can emulate this step of food security by making use of our access to fertile soils. Zimbabwe is known to have a lot of fertile soils, so that's the path that we can take. How? By investing in the necessary technology and training and information campaigns to all farmers, including urban and rural, so that they can try to make the agricultural sector efficient, right? So in step 2 that Dubai took, which was in 1892, into establishing international trade. So the pearl and marine business is a popular business in Dubai, right? Pearls are a special gemstone used mostly for jewelry. Pearls can be likened to minerals such as diamonds because of their rare nature and because of their physical properties, which are very attractive to people, right? So this is what Dubai did. The pearl business is what attracted international traders, because Dubai has something that other countries didn't have. Dubai that had something that powerful people wanted. So power can be displayed, right? Power can be displayed by possessing rare objects. So powerful people search for the world's most rare objects, and they offer their influence in the form of money in exchange for these objects. So Dubai gained some influence. Dubai gained some money from the pearl trade, and this solidified their position in the international trade market. So how can Zimbabwe emulate that? Zimbabwe doesn't have pearls, but Zimbabwe has diamonds and gold. And this is how we can leverage ourselves into a position of interest, or of influence rather, in the international trade market. So step number 1, food security. Step number 2 is establishing yourselves on the international trade markets. So step number 3, which started rather in 1912, which is local education. Dubai did something new. Al Ahmadiyya is built. So Al Ahmadiyya is Dubai's first school. It was a private educational institution that was known to produce notable graduates who led Dubai's modernization, right? So for example, Zimbabwe has a lot of schools, but the top schools in Zimbabwe are either missionary schools or private schools, which were built over the foundation of colonialism. So the culture in these schools isn't quite centered on national development, right? So the educational systems, mostly in Zimbabwe, are made to produce graduates or alumni who are supposed to work towards an economy and society that does not exist anymore. So in Dubai, they first built school that specifically groomed young people towards national interests. For example, in Zimbabwe, we have our objectives. We know we have a plan. We know where we're going. We know where we want to go. So what Dubai did is that they also had a plan and a vision, and they made sure that their schools, they cultured the next generation that was to follow based on their visions, based on their objectives, instead of learning general knowledge or instead of learning things that apply in foreign countries, right? They centered more on the education that would facilitate in their national interest and goals, right? So that is the step that Dubai took, and something that we can emulate. 1958 leadership. So His Highness Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum becomes the ruler of Dubai. He led the country for 32 years, right? Yep. He led the country for 32 years up to 1990 and developed a major hub for international trade. So he was the driving force behind multiple infrastructure development projects, namely the Port Rashid project, which is a cruise terminal where trade ships dock, the Jebel Ali port, another port for terminal ships, and the Dubai World Trade Center, and the Al Shigdaga tunnel, which is a tunnel where an average of 55,000 vehicles pass through in a day. So this leader was more into infrastructure. Like, they had a firm, strong leader who really made major changes in the country. And to be fair, to be objective, based on evidence, not emotions or feelings, right? Zimbabwe has been on this path, to be honest. For example, the Bay Bridge border post renovation, the Mbudzi roundabout or Trablablas roundabout construction, the RG Mugabe International Airport, the new parliament. Like, Zimbabwe has been, to be objective, to state what's there, Zimbabwe has been on this path. So we see that Dubai did this, when was this? In 1958, under the leadership of this guy, this Rashid bin Saeed, So this is another step that Dubai took towards its path towards of greatness, So in 1966, they also touched something regarding essential resource discovery. Oh, this is where everything changed in 1966. Like, they were building up to something, and in 1966 something big happened. Oil discovery. They discovered oil, which attracted foreign trade and stimulated the economy, which over several decades diversified with shipping, finance, and tourism. Zimbabwe has lithium, and lithium is in high demand on the global market because of its use in the production of electrical batteries, which are used on a large scale to support motor vehicle production, technological gadgets production, and solar power development projects. So lithium can potentially be Zimbabwe's oil. So this is something that also lit up the development of Dubai, or the boosting of Dubai's economy, discovery of an essential resource. So the next step was in 1971, unification. Dubai and other Emirates signed a deal to form the United Arab Emirates, right, UAE, on 2 December 1971. And they collaborated. For example, how Zimbabwe can emulate this is like as if Zimbabwe made a sort of like a unification or alliance with Mozambique, or Zambia or other countries like that. If I'm not mistaken, because geopolitics differs, and I'm familiar with African geopolitics, but I'm not that familiar with Arabic geopolitics. And my research, according to my research that I did, this is what I found. So I'm trying to liken two regions. So yeah, it's like if Zimbabwe unified with Zambia. So yeah, this really boosted, because it boosted the economy, because it expanded the market. It expanded the market of all the products that were being produced by this country. So 2003, right? Things were on track. The city plays host to the annual meeting of the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Ooh, they're now talking to big players in the monetary world, because they've gained their attention. Those people don't just, the IMF and the World Bank, they don't just come to chill with you. You have to grab their attention somehow. So with all of this, the infrastructure development and all these things that were happening, the unification, it grabbed the attention of the right people, and then they started to invest. These are the people that have the money. The IMF and the World Bank have the money. And then next thing you know, 7 years later, Dubai constructs the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world, because they're now getting money, and they're now amending their policies, their tax policies. For example, Dubai is popular for a VAT refund or tax exemptions for expatriates. So if you're a foreigner, you want to if you want to buy products in Dubai, you get some tax exemption, right? When the tax, I did some research, and the VAT in Dubai is 5%, and the VAT in Zimbabwe and South Africa is at 15%. So they have lower taxes, and they also offer tax exemptions. So if you're a businessman, you go to buy your products in Dubai, you won't buy in South Africa, you go to buy, because the VAT is fair, it's low, the VAT is low, and they offer tax exemptions. So this is how, and that's how the Dubai is booming right now, because it's good business. So this is how Dubai rose to the top, and this is the steps that Zimbabwe can emulate. And I'm optimistic. I'm an optimist, and so are the people here at Golden Cloud Network. And this is our presentation for today. Thank you so much. I'll let you know our sources in the description below. Take care.